if we do talk about storm chasers, but my audience is 50% between storm chasers and retail and other. But the problem with the storm chasers, though, you know, they hire way too fast. They spread too, like, you know, you have a good storm, but then you have 10 sales guys, then you have office, then you travel because many of them travel.
Now, and so when we're, that the storm chasing, so I'm talking about just roofing companies who are based in Minnesota.
Yes.
Where their headquarters in Minnesota, they should be profitable.
True.
In my experience over the last several years, when people chase storms, and it doesn't mean it can't be done. I've not seen everybody, but I think people don't take into consideration the cost of lodging, right? That's a big deal to put everyone in hotels or VRBO or Airbnb, or even do short-term rentals. Like, people don't take into consideration lodging. So even if you do, you know, a 6 months, let's say you're going to go down to Florida and work some of those storms, you're working on, you've got people down there for 6 months. Where do they sleep? Like, we still have to have beds and dishes and TVs. Like, there's so many things that I think people don't take into account. You have to get licensed in those states. You've got to get your business cards in those states. You've got to get your local phone numbers, you know, all the things that you do to look like you've been there forever as well. That takes time and effort. It adds up very quick. Yeah. And then you've got to get your local office person, let's say, or you send somebody down there to run the office or do collections. And then when you're wrapped up with the work and you've paid for all those, because a lot of times you got to bring your crews in, then you go home, you still have to collect all that money down there. Which, you know, as we know, sometimes people will get that last insurance check and they say, oh, I didn't know I had to give you that too. Like, we've all heard all the stories. So you still have to collect down there, and it could be a couple of years that your office is technically open down there, or you get a warranty repair or whatever. Now you've got to send people down there. So I think there's a lot, and there are storm chasers who have figured it out. I'm not saying that it cannot be done, absolutely, but I think that a lot of people think it might be a little easier than it is ultimately.